and it's definitely not here in the original.
Mom said she
Not the
wanted to
original,
talk to me
the
about
first
something.
game,
Can't be good.
obviously. Um, yeah, I call it the original game, the first game, I mean. And it wasn't here in the first game, so the only thing I can think of in a way that would make sense is Joyce sending it to them.
Dad always talked about upgrading to a flat screen. Too bad that never happened. I would have gotten this bad boy in my room.
I would rather go for the flat screen, to be honest. I had one of those when I was a kid,
I
though.
was an 8th grade science athlete. Did I peak in middle school?
Yeah, and you had a reason to go to school every day, and now she doesn't.
It's my job to water these plants, but it was Dad's job to remind me, so nobody's fault, really.
That's a bit of an homage to the first game as well.
We're already supporting one. Thanks.
Yeah.
From when Max and I spilled Mom's wine. I think the only reason Mom hasn't recarpeted is so she can stay mad at me. Made that for Mom in an art class when I was like 5. She was never a smoker, but it's cool.
And there you
I
go.
was never an artist.
Wait, those aren't Mom's keys.
And these would be David's keys.
Of course.
There's probably a better place for them than the ashtray I made Mom. Like his home, maybe?
Meaning he's kind of shoehorning himself in, which I don't really agree with. But there you go. There's the continuity fail I pointed out in Farewell. Chloe says that her mom never smoked, but Farewell says she did. Which is it? Which is it, Dead Nine? Make it your binds.
Wow. Sean Prescott's son Nathan goes to my school. Sounds like the apple didn't fall far from the asshole.
Though real estate developer Sean Prescott promised that employee layoffs would be minimal, yeah. When he purchased the shipyard, he announced this week that he will be ending operations effective immediately. In a move not surprising to longtime residents of the region, the Prescott Foundation also liquidated the Arcadia Bay Servitors Association defined pension plan. Michelle Kesey Robertson, staff attorney for the foundation, defended the action as our right in recuperating uncovered losses against debts owed. Sean Prescott will be nominated for comment. Of course not. Yeah, sure.
Why do I suddenly want to get some fireworks?
A wildfire warning has been issued to all residents of Arcadia Bay. Fines doubled for illegal fireworks and campfires in unauthorized areas.
This is Principal Ray Wells. Let me be emphatic. I have an enormous stick inserted into my butt. Thank you. Also, Chloe, you're poor and in trouble.
I love Randa Veers as Chloe. She did such a good job. And be emphatic, this is not due to financial woes, says Principal Ray Wells. After a survey of the tuitions of prestige academies of similar caliber, we are simply keeping ourselves competitive. Blackwell parents invest their children, not their vacation homes. Wells further emphasized that in addition to merit-based tuition awards, this year won by sophomores Stella Hill and Brooke Scott, the school's program of need-based scholarships remains in place for students who maintain exceptional academic records. So basically they get special treatment if they do well, I guess, because fuck equality, you know what I mean? Which
Got Mom's
pisses me
purse.
off.
Still exhausted. Better not do any more good deeds today. Dad's old swear jar. We spent the last of his curses on bus fare and milk.
Shit, where are my keys? That's $1 for the swear jar. You're bankrupting me.
How can bacon smell so good, but I'd still rather stuff these sugar bombs in my mouth?
I'd rather the bacon, in all honesty.
It's not that I'm ungrateful. It's just that when your mom works in a diner, you're not always in the mood for diner-type food.
Yeah, that's understandable. Honestly, I get
Pot
that.
roast? Mom hates pot roast.
Never had pot roast.
Joyce Price, aka Mom. She looks as beat as I feel.
I love her in the first game. I absolutely loved her. And it was really kind of her love for Max that kind of made me mention them a lot in the farewell episode, and how I kind of noticed that, you know, Joyce and William treated her as their own a lot of the
Mom
time.
said she wanted to talk to me about something. Can't be good. Hey, Mom. You wanted to talk?
When I send you a text message, Chloe, like last night, I need you to answer.
You can just say text. You don't have to say message.
And I need you to answer without the snark.
I mean, she has a point. She has a point there, to be fair.
Sorry. I hear you. I'll do better about replying.
Thank you.
Is that what you wanted to talk about?
What is it with you and David? Always cutting to the chase. Why can't we just have some pleasant conversation before school?
Because he's not her dad, and she's angry about that.
You do realize I hate your boyfriend with every fiber of my being, right?
Chloe! You don't hate
He
him.
calls me girly. He's a dickhole.
He can be old-fashioned.
Yeah,
That's
an
fair.
old-fashioned dickhole.
You know, being old-fashioned, there's nothing really wrong with that.
Ah, right. School. My favorite.
You used to love to learn.
Yeah. I used to think drugs were lame too.
I wish you wouldn't joke like that.
Yeah. And then you lost your friend and you lost your way. The thing is, it's like I said at the end of Farewell.
I thought you hated pot roast.
You can have a
You
no
could definitely
thank you.
tell that her and her mom were
No,
never really that
you
close.
hate pot roast. I don't care.
I
And I
don't
think-
hate it. And David likes it. And don't say you don't care.
So that's what we're doing now? Whatever your boyfriend likes?
Well, I mean that isn't that isn't a bad thing to do. Honestly, if he wants pot roast, she could do it. She does cook, but you can definitely get the and even in the first game, you got the kind of feeling that Joyce and Chloe didn't really get on, and it's kind of exacerbated since David got himself involved, unintentionally, and not in a bad way. I mean, but you know. But I don't think these two have ever talked,
Are you selling
and that
your
really hasn't
engagement ring?
helped.
Chloe, jewelry gets appraised for all sorts of reasons. Like for insurance.
I mean, that is fair.
Nice dodge.
That is like I said earlier.
How about this? You don't go in my bedroom when I'm not there.
How about you don't ask me to get your damn purse then?
Yeah,
Let's not fight. I made you breakfast.
Nah,
that
I'll
does make
just
sense.
grab something
Weirdly.
later.
Oh, you'll enjoy this. The other day I made 4 eggs, 2 for David, 2 for me. And just before I served them, he says, "What are you gonna eat?"
I'll enjoy that, huh?
Tired, huh? That'll teach you to break curfew.
Huh.
What?
I know what time you came home last night. And don't think you can get out of school just because you missed the bus again.
Why would you assume that?
Who do you think your principal calls when you skip?
Yeah,
Do you think I enjoy lying for you? Saying you're sick just so you don't get expelled?
see, this is the problem they
Between your
have.
grades and your disregard for
They're
my
more,
rules,
they're arguing
I
more
see
than
you
they're
slipping.
talking. But
I'm worried.
But Mom,
the reason
the
for
whole
that,
point of lowering expectations is so you won't be disappointed in me. Ever again.
You're happy doing what you're doing? Fine. Keep at it. Just let me know so I can stop fighting with Blackwell to keep you on scholarship. Money's tight enough as it is.
see, that's the thing. They're not talking, they're arguing. But Joyce can't talk because Chloe won't let her talk about it. She knows the sore subjects of her dad and Max, but Chloe won't let her talk about it because she doesn't want to talk about it. So they just end up fighting because Joyce doesn't want to talk. Joyce kind of wants to talk, but Chloe won't let her talk, so Joyce can't talk, and they just end up arguing more. It's really sad because as you saw, Chloe was in Farewell. Chloe was like heading in such directions that are almost like she was a smart kid basically,
Maybe I just need to be
and
left
then
alone.
everything happened.
Maybe
And
you're
this
16.
is kind of the
and
result.
don't know what you need.
That's exactly what it
David thinks
is.
you need discipline.
See,
David
that's
should
not
mind his own business.
that's not for him to say.
I think it's great David's taking an interest. He's a good man. Maybe he can help.
There's taking an interest, and then there's literally just throwing yourself in, which I don't know if that's what David intended to do or not. I don't know what would be better here, to be honest. Tell it like it is.
Your boyfriend's an asshole.
He's been good for me. Maybe he rubs you the wrong way because you've been rude.
It's fair.
He's still breathing. That means I've been more than fair.
David's had some hard times too, you know.
Yeah.
If he's kind enough to share his experience, I expect you to listen.
Like I'd let him get within 15 feet of me.
When he takes you to school today,
Very funny.
Yeah. Making sure
you
she
will be
goes.
nice, you will be respectful, and you will say thank you.
Are you serious? This is such...
What, Chloe? Such what?
Mom's trying. I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe I should too. But what's the point in getting along if it means pretending everything's fine when it's not?
Two things here. I never had Joyce down as a strict woman. I said this in the first playthrough. I never had her down as a strict woman, but the reason she's sounding like that right now is because Chloe is making things really tough and there's not much more she could do. But in the first game, it's like she's barely like that. But I think it's because Chloe is at 18 and Joyce is like, oh, you're not gonna listen to me anymore, no matter what I try and do. But here she's not 18, so she's having to still kind of at least try. And on the other side, Chloe doesn't have to pretend anything. She doesn't have to pretend everything's alright, but it's like I said earlier, they don't talk, they argue. Joyce wants to talk, Chloe don't want to talk about it, and they end up clashing instead. I don't know who would do D, to be honest. I don't know what doing D does. I think D is one of those curiosity things, but I couldn't do
I
that.
know you're dealing with a lot.
Thank you. I understand you don't need me as much anymore, but I need you.
I do
Yeah,
still need you.
that's the
You're
thing.
my mom.
I'm proud of you for being so self-sufficient. But the whole world's not out to get you.
Tell that to the world.
You're impossible. But I love you.
Yeah.
I love you too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She
David's
does,
waiting.
Joyce.
You'll need to bring him his keys from the ashtray. Try not to kill each other.
Got it. Unless he tries to give me advice. Or looks at me funny.
Chloe.
Or looks at me at all.
Chloe.
Mom,
Have a good day.
you too. Bringing David his keys is about the most humiliating thing Mom could ask me to do. Feeling trapped?
I will not take you
Right there
too
with
long
you.
with these discussions. I'm trying not to. Because, like I said, I want to keep things moving, but I also have a lot of thoughts in what's going on. That's how much into this series I am.
Little dude's like, what the hell
I
just
don't think I've
happened?
ever been like this since Gears of War. I think Gears of War was the last series after Sonic that I was like truly into and wanted to know everything about.
No point in putting off the inevitable torture of driving to school with David. I'd better get going.
Let go. Chloe doesn't have to pretend everything's
Dad took these
alright,
photos.
but
Now that David's staying over so much, I wonder how long it'll take Mom to shove them in a drawer somewhere.
yeah, I don't really agree with that. I mean, if that was me, I wouldn't do it. You know, if I had like loads of memories of myself with Tom Lady, and God forbid if something happened to her, I wouldn't just ditch everything or put it somewhere, stuff it anywhere, you know. Maybe, you know, you can kind of understand in a way that it might just be Joyce's way of moving on, and it might be just the easiest thing to do. Steph Greenwich is freaking awesome. Yeah, she's probably the best character in this game by quite some margin, actually. There's also another one that I absolutely adore, but Steph Greenwich is an overall character is awesome. And Katie Benz does a great job with her too.
What a piece of crap.
Yeah.
The car, too.
The car's not that bad. I actually don't mind the car. It's not something I'd have, but
Why do you women always take forever to get ready?
We're hoping you men will leave without
yeah,
us.
there's quite a lot about David I don't really understand in this game. It's not that I don't like him.
No, Mom. I swear he beat himself
think
to death
I-
with a tire iron.
I think his
Repeatedly.
character makes more sense in season 1 than it the first game rather than it does here. I keep calling it season 1. I don't mean to.
Insulator's probably cracked. You know what a spark plug does?
Yes.
Yes?
It ignites
Did you
the
not
part-
hear me? I said I know what it does.
See, I thought David would have known that.
And go grab my socket wrench set from the garage, and we can get moving.
See, I thought David would have known that. You know, he's been with them long enough
What
to
is
know
this?
that Chloe
Quality
is
time?
a car
Ugh.
enthusiast in a
Better
way.
just get the socket wrench and get this over with.
See, I don't know why David's character in this game is the way it is. I think his character makes more sense in season 1. Season 1. God damn it! I keep doing that. I'm sorry. It makes more
Tiniest
sense in the
penis
first
in all of
game.
Arcadia Bay.
In the first game, he only has probably one moment in this whole game that would make sense. Although I'm not the biggest fan of him in the first game for a couple of reasons either. But he manages to totally
What's David
change
doing?
your
Leaving
perception
stuff
of
in our
him.
garage anyway. Does he think he's moving in or something?
See, I wonder what if we go over here a minute. I'll go over there in a sec.
Yeah. The stereo used to be in Dad's workshop. I should hook it up in my room before garbage day gets it first. Should fill this with gasoline just in case David's car ever catches on fire. Dad's old camera. Do they even make film for these anymore?
Funny you should say that, and then give it to Max in the first game. Or Max gets to use it anyway. It's a bit funny that
I'm
she says
supposed
that.
to get David his stupid wrench. What the hell has happened to my life? Do these have chapters on hot wiring your mom's boyfriend's car so you can drive it off a cliff? Asking for a friend.
Lol. I thought Chloe would already know how to do that.
Uh-oh. Mom's been cleaning again.
Yeah.
This was the photo Mom took down from the living room. Guess we don't have room for it and David's mustache.
I just don't agree with this. I mean, more on a personal level. I see what Joyce is probably doing. If it's her way of moving on, but I understand it. But the thing I don't get is, why is these pictures of their family getting hidden everywhere, and the one of Max and her, Chloe, is still on the wall?
David's lawnmower. Maybe Mom and I like our lawn the way it is. Ever think of that? Dad's toolbox. He used to get so excited whenever anything sprung a leak or busted.
I can imagine.
By toolbox, did David mean this? Or did he mean himself?
I love it. I think there's a graffiti thing you can do in here. Can you do this now?
There's his stupid socket wrench set. Let's get this shit show over with. 50-50 chance I smash him in the face with this. 60-40. Maybe 90-10.
60-40 in favor of David, because I'm not going to let you do that.
If it's in my garage, it gets my special treatment. What message does David really need to hear?
Intruder?
Got it.
That's perfect. Intruder alert. That's so perfect for some reason. I love it. Alright.
little more hustle wouldn't have killed you. See what's gunking up the works there? That's a sign of
Carbon
deposit.
deposits? No shit.
You know, you could actually be good at this if you lost the attitude.
My attitude
Yeah.
is what makes me special, David.
All right.
See that's a cool thing. He's trying to be
Fine, whatever.
a lot less old-fashioned, but it just doesn't fit with his early characterization in season 1. It's like you start with season 1 and then he shows a
Hey,
more
you're taking those tools with you,
his more
right?
truer side, and then his more truer side goes
Toolbox.
from before into here, which is before
We've
the
already
first
got one.
game. I keep
But
calling it
thanks.
season 1 shit, but yeah, it's a bit just, it's so weird. It's the continuity weirdness of David in this game. It's probably the character that makes the least sense.
Ready to roll?
Please don't want to talk. Please don't want to talk.
I
Please.
want to talk to you about something.
Fuck.
We don't have to like each other, but you will respect me.
Yeah.
You've enjoyed enough of a vacation from having a father figure.
See, that's just the thing you don't say. You just don't say that, you know?
So there's some things I want to be real clear about.
That's the one thing you can never say, because she didn't ask. It's not a vacation from having a father day, or not a full, like it's just totally unnecessary. He's got that's totally the wrong thing you don't want to say, and you wonder why she gets angry at him. See, shutting him down here would be the most, what's the word? You know, understandable reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Joyce, your mother, she's hurting, Chloe. Hurting for you.
And Chloe's hurting too.
You've had it rough, no doubt about it. But all this staying out late, ignoring her command, drinking, drug use, it's making everything harder for her.
I get it.
You need to shape up, get your act together, and put someone else first for a damn change. Am I making myself
You
clear?
didn't see her with Maxine Caulfield.
Is it crazy if part of what David's saying makes
Did
sense to me?
did David even ask about it? Did Joyce even explain about Max to him? Because he never mentions her. The only time he does is when they meet up in the first game. You know? But, you know, it's that whole thing with like having a vacation, it's not something she wanted or asked for, you know? It's not a vacation. It's like, that's the worst thing you could say to a child that has a parent who's passed away. That is the worst thing you could have said. And it makes Chloe's anger just even more, make even more sense,
Got
basically.
it. Thanks. We should really get
Try
going.
and keep the game moving. But
Glad
yeah,
we understand each other.
that is not a thing you should say. That is the last thing you should ever say to a kid who's lost a parent. That's like the worst. And you wonder why she's angry and doesn't respect you too much, because you're saying shit like that.
Country music? Dad loved this song.
See, this one's not bad because it actually gives you it kind of gives you a sight into what happened to him. It kind of shows you what actually happened to him.
What a beautiful day.
So apparently in these dream sequences, if you press tab, you get like different things. Ah, here we go. Now, here's what I was talking about in Farewell. That apparently there's this letter. Now, I don't know if this is real or not because this is in a dream sequence. So, is she dreaming that Max sent this letter that she's coming back? Oh my god, how adorable. I have the best news. I'm coming back to Arcadia Bay. My dad got a job at the Beacon, and we're moving back in like a day. The Beacon? Is that a reference to Ruby? I've missed you so much. I found out the other day that all my letters I've been sending you have been lost in the mail. See, that could be what happened. That could be what happened. That could be legit. But no one ever says anything. That's the closest we are ever going to get to any clarification of what happened to Max in all that time. That's just so shitty. I'd never not write to you and I'd never forget you. See? That's exactly what I said. You're my best friend and I missed you so much. That is exactly what I really think. Like I said, Max's character is not the kind of character that would not speak to her in 5 years, and then you add Chloe and William and all that into the equation and it just makes more sense. That is my Max. That is my Max right there. Promise me that the first thing we do when I get back is sit up with 2 wives with some of her mom's waffles. Which makes sense because, you know, she loved 2 Wales Belgian waffles, especially when Joyce made them. Then we're going to binge watch TV in bed and draw new comics about superhero alter egos of ourselves. Then I'm going to take glamour shots of your beautiful face so all the world can know how incredible you really are. Oh my god. Even in a dream sequence, this letter is just so romantic. Can we stop being romantic, please? Because it's crushing me right now. So I wonder if these texts are, are actually real, because a bit of a spoiler alert, not a major one, but this is very much tying to episode 3, because episode 3 kind of goes into a little bit about it as well, and basically Joyce calls and tells that she needs picking up, so I think this is kind of a reference to that, until the pot roast thing. Where did you go? Thought we were making breakfast. You better not be hiding in the closet again. You know I don't like it when you jump out and scare me. Aww. So I like what they're doing there, because they're making it look like it's real and Chloe's disappeared and Max is wondering where she is. So they're making it look like it's real, but it's not. See, that letter is going to be the closest thing we get to any clarification, but is it real? Is that a real thing? Or is she just dreaming that because that's the ideal scenario Chloe wants to know or hear?
I guess Mom left her purse back here?
Safety. Is it got condoms in it? What the fuck?
I know what a spark plug does, jerkwad.
Yeah.
If Mom were here, she'd tell him to turn that junk off.
Bear, turn that shit off.
Dad, turn it up.
I love that. There's a Gears of War reference there. I'm playing a Gears of War game in quite a while, actually.
Picking up my lover from the grocery store.
Damn. So yeah, that kind of gives you an idea of what happened to him. The only thing that wasn't there was that Chloe was in the car. That's the only thing that was different. But I'd love that to be true about Max. I really, really, really would. And you guys know I would. But is the harsh reality that it wasn't?
The hell?
That it was just a
Out of
dream?
the car, Chloe. You're gonna be late.
Is that a harsh reality? You know what I mean? And that's why, as much as I'd love it to be, I don't think it is.
Shit. Thanks.
Don't use that sarcastic tone with me, young lady. I can see you rolling your eyes.
Hello? I was actually saying
I
thank-
see
Yeah.
everything.
She sounds sincere to me.
Warn everything.
See that's not a great thing either, because he's just randomly assuming that Chloe was just being sarcastic or whatever.
Hello, Black Hal.